I am attempting to reshoot this video about top 20 movies with Friends actors in them because I ran out of storage and needed to delete old photos. So let's start again. So at number 1, we have the Ron Clark Story, which stars Matthew Perry and came out in 2006. Matt and I have reviewed this movie in previous videos when we've talked about media tackling serious issues. It is definitely one of Matthew Perry's most powerful performances as Mr. Clark. We gave this movie a B+. Our favorite scenes were the President's Rap and the scene where he comforts his student in the alley after he gets thrown out of his house. The next movie at number 2 is called The Whole Nine Yards. The Whole Nine Yards stars Matthew Perry and Bruce Willis and came out in the early 2000s. The reason why we ranked this movie so high was because of the chemistry between Matthew Perry's character and Bruce Willis's character, and the Canadian scenery that's at the very beginning of the movie when Matthew Perry's character becomes neighbors with Bruce Willis's character and they go for a car ride. Upon rewatching this movie, the ranking had to change because I realized that the plot of the murder for hire for Matthew Perry's character was not really funny. And the only redeeming quality the plot of this movie has is the side relationship that Matthew Perry's character develops with the ex-wife of Bruce Willis's character. I thought that was very sweet. So this movie originally had a B+ rating. It got downgraded to a C. At number 3, we have Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels came out in 2000 and stars Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and Drew Barrymore as the titular Charlie's Angels. This is a remake of the 1970s movie that stars Farrah Fawcett. So Matt LeBlanc is in this movie as Lucy Liu's boyfriend, Jason, who is an actor, much like Joey's character is on Friends. And in this movie, Matt LeBlanc's character is filming a action movie, and there is a scene of the movie within the movie that is being filmed that is a scene where there's an explosion. And that made things super confusing for me because I thought that was part of the Charlie's Angels plot, but it was only when that scene was over that I realized it had nothing to do with Charlie's Angels, and it was the movie that his character was filming. The next movie is Analyze This. Analyze This stars Lisa Kudrow and Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal was in the scene at the beginning of the Ultimate Fighting Champion episode where they're in Central Park and they have the conversation about being cheated on. And that is like one of the funniest scenes in Friends that's improvised, and every time I watch it I think of Robin Williams and how his life ended too soon because of his sad battle with depression. At number 5, we have Marley and Me. Marley and Me came out in 2008 and stars Jennifer Aniston and Owen Wilson. It is about a couple who adopts a dog, raises it, and starts their family. And it's about the familial relationship with the dog. And as a spoiler alert, the saddest scene in this movie is the scene where Marley is about to die and Jennifer Aniston's character says goodbye to him at And that scene made me cry. Like, I was literally crying in a ball on my couch because that scene connected to me really personally, because I lost my own dog in 2015 due to old age, and I still miss her every single day. Another Friends actor who was in this movie who people might not have noticed is Kathleen Turner, who played Chandler's dad, Charles Bing, aka Helena Handbasket. She appears in this movie as the obedience school dog trainer, and I thought she was really good in this movie. And for those of you familiar with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I'm pretty sure that Kathleen Turner also did the voice for Jessica Rabbit. So, the next movie that comes in our list at number 6 is Murder Mystery 2 with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. This movie came out this past spring on March 31st, and it's on Netflix for those who want to watch it. It's the sequel to the 2019 movie Murder Mystery, and what we liked the best about both of these movies is the fact that the murder mystery plot was engaging and kept us on the edge of our seats, and also the scenery of other countries. That's the thing that really made the whole 9 yards attractive, because in the earlier scene when Bruce Willis's character first moves in next door to Matthew Perry's character, they go for a ride, and you get to see a little bit of the scenery in, I believe it's Ottawa, Canada, that this movie was filmed in. And in Murder Mystery 2, what I liked the best was the Paris scenery, and it made me really, really want to go to Paris. Oh my god. Coming in at number 7 is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, which I believe came out in 1994, right before Friends started to air. This movie stars Jim Carrey as the titular Ace Ventura, who is a detective that solves crimes related to people's pets disappearing, and Courtney Cox plays the character who is the PR representative for the Miami Dolphins, who Ace Ventura is hired to investigate where the missing mascot has gone. And Courtney Cox and Jim Carrey had really good chemistry in the scenes that they were in together. And one thing I noticed, there was a scene when Courtney Cox and Jim Carrey are in bed together in a room surrounded by animals, and I, with my eagle eye, spotted a capuchin monkey that looked very much like Marcel from Friends, Ross's pet monkey from a few season 1 episodes. I did a little bit of digging and talked to fellow Friends fans on Facebook and found out that monkey is definitely not the same monkey who played Marcel, but it looks like a very similar type of monkey than the one that played Marcel. And I thought it would have been cool if it would have been the actual monkey who played Marcel. Oh, this is so aggravating. At number 8 is Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion. This movie came out in 1995, right before season 2 of Friends started, and it stars Lisa Kudrow and Mira Sorvino as two friends who are going to go to their 10-year high school reunion. And believe it or not, I am planning my 20-year high school reunion, if you can believe that. That will be next year, and I would like to thank a few classmates who are helping me to organize the event, because I couldn't do it without them. Thomas and Andrea and Diana. So I hope we can chat soon to start planning this event. So Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion gets a B. The next movie is Scream. Scream came out in 1996 and stars Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox. So I would like to preface this part of the review by saying I'm not into horror movies, so my friends were surprised when I picked Scream as a movie to watch this year for Halloween. And I would really consider Scream to be a parody of horror movies, so I didn't find it to be very scary. Courtney Cox plays a newscaster named Gail Weathers in this movie, and I didn't really like her character very much because I thought she was mean to the main character played by Neve Campbell. He's Just Not That Into You is at number 10. This movie came out in 2008. And this movie is based on a self-help book of the same name about issues in relationships. And Jennifer Aniston's character's name is Beth. And she and her boyfriend, who is played by Ben Affleck, have been dating for 7 years. And they are Jennifer Aniston's character is the only single character in her single person in her group of friends, and she is questioning her boyfriend about why they're not married yet or if they're going to get married. And spoiler alert, they do get married, so their storyline does end up happy. This movie is very, very good. It has a mixture of heartwarming stories and stories that will make you angry, kind of like the Christmas movie, Love Actually. At number 11 is Fools Rush In. Fools Rush In came out in 1997 and stars Matthew Perry and Salma Hayek. I disagree with MsMojo's opinion. They made a video a couple of months ago about movie couples that did not have good chemistry, and on their list they put Matthew Perry and Salma Hayek at number 4, and I disagree with this ranking and that this movie should be included in the list at all, because personally, I thought they had amazing chemistry. Their scenes were really great. I thought they were very well matched up as an on-screen couple, and the other scenes that I really liked were the scenes that Matthew Perry's dad was in, because I liked to see the scenes with them interacting, and I wish they had done more movies together. So Fools Rush In got a B+. I talked about the murder mystery movies already. So Murder Mysteries at number 12. At number 13 is Three to Tango. Three to Tango came out in 1998 and stars Dylan McDermott, Neve Campbell, and Matthew Perry. This movie is good overall. The only thing I did not like is the fact that Matthew Perry's character pretends to be gay, because I felt like that was a kind of, as a person who is supportive of LGBTQ rights, I don't think that particular part of the plot of this movie has aged very well, but overall it's a good movie, which I would highly recommend. The next movie is The Iron Giant. The Iron Giant is an animated movie based off a children's book. This movie was also discussed in Phantom Strider's book-based animated movies video, which I'm going to make a separate video discussing the movies about. So in this movie, Jennifer Aniston voices Hogarth's mother, Annie. Basically, this movie is E.T., but with a robot instead of an alien as the character that the main child character befriends, and it's very sweet and touching. And I would highly recommend it if you have not seen it, and I'm going to be borrowing the book from the library likely if I can find it. At number 15, we have Numb, which we just watched yesterday. Numb came out in 2007, the year after the Ron Clark story. It stars Matthew Perry as a guy named Hudson who has depersonalization disorder, which is kind of like a disorder where you have a lot of out-of-body experiences and have a hard time relating to yourself in your own skin. And that was really interesting because I've never really heard of that disorder before watching this movie. Much like the Ron Clark story, Matthew Perry's performance in this movie is very powerful and emotional. The scene that made me jump out of my skin was the scene at the beginning when he's in the bathtub. And the reason why that got to me was because of his recent death and how he died. But overall, the movie was very good. I liked his relationship with the lead female character, Lynn Collins. And I thought their scenes together were very sweet and very cute. So we gave this movie a B-. And if you would like to check it out, it should be at your local library, or you can see if it's on Amazon or Netflix. At number 16 is Madagascar 2, Escape to Africa. We watched this movie a couple of years ago at a party at our friend Katie Mayo's house. I think it was either for Halloween or for Valentine's Day or something. So in this movie, David Schwimmer, who played Ross on Friends, does the voice of Melman the giraffe, and I think his relationship with Gloria, who was, I think, voiced by Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, was very sweet. We haven't seen the other two Madagascar movies yet, so we really can't rank the franchise altogether. But we gave Madagascar Escape to Africa a B+. Coming in next on our list is 17 again. At number 17. 17 again stars Zac Efron from High School Musical and Matthew Perry. So I feel like I got It's a Wonderful Life vibes from this movie because Matthew Perry's character, who is named Michael, is having a lot of trouble with his marriage, and he meets this sketchy guy when he goes back to his old high school, who is like a janitor, and he tries to kill himself by jumping off the bridge. So Matthew Perry's character jumps in the water to save the janitor guy. And when he jumps into the river, he goes back to the past, to when he was younger. And basically he uses this experience as a way to fix his relationship with his wife and his kids, which I think is great. I really thought that storyline was sweet, especially the scene where he's confronting his daughter about his breakup, her breakup with her boyfriend, and he basically says to her, you shouldn't be with him because he's a jerk. So I heard a rumor a couple of months ago that 17 Again is going to be a Broadway musical, and it's so sad that Matthew Perry died because I was really hoping that if this rumor was true, he would be reprising his movie role on stage, and I would have definitely loved to see him in a Broadway musical. That makes his death very hard for me to deal with, knowing that I could have potentially seen him in a Broadway show. So, at number 18, we have The Whole 10 Yards. The Whole 10 Yards is the sequel to The Whole 9 Yards. It came out in like 2003. Again, it stars Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry. This movie was not as good as the original movie. In fact, the reason why we didn't like it as much was because we felt it was too violent. And we couldn't really get through the whole movie enjoyably because there was too much violence. So we rated this movie a C+, and we rated The Whole 9 Yards, I think, a B+ or a B-. At number 19, we have Easy A. We have watched Easy A prior to our reviewing of all of these movies with Friends actors in them. I think the last time we watched it was before we moved from Nashua. Easy A is a movie that's set in a high school, and it's based on, I think, a Shakespeare play, but I don't remember what play it's supposed to be based on. It stars Emma Stone as a character who's a high school girl, and she starts a rumor about her getting laid or something. And in this movie, Lisa Kudrow's character is much like Courtney Cox's character in Scream, who I didn't really care for. And the reason why I do not like Lisa Kudrow's character, Mrs. Griffiths, is because she's gross. She is a high school counselor who is cheating on her husband with one of her students. And to be honest with you, I think she should have lost her job because of that. And I didn't really like her character. I think that is probably one of her least favorite movie roles of mine, because her character kind of really disgusted me. Her acting was great, of course, but I just didn't like her character. So we originally gave that movie a B-, but I downgraded the rating to a C just because I hate Mrs. Griffith's character. And finally, at number 20, we have Leprechaun. Leprechaun stars Jennifer Aniston, and it was her first movie before Friends started. So it came out in like the mid-80s. And I definitely could see a lot of Rachel's personality from the first 2 seasons of Friends and her character in Leprechaun. Like, she was snobby, she was kind of a brat. But this movie we just didn't find to be engaging. Like, it was slow to start, but then once the plot got going, it did get a little bit more interesting. So we gave it a C+. So if you have seen any of these movies with Friends actors in them, please leave your comments below on which movies that you liked, which movies that you didn't like, which movies that we haven't watched yet with a Friends actor in them that you would recommend. Have a great day.